I'm really happy and honored to introduce to you the next generation of Arabian horse breeders. My friend Rodrigo Nogueira from Colombia, Amanda Fraser, and Erin Naas. Thank you guys for joining me.
Thank you.
Tell us, we'll start with Rodrigo. Rodrigo, what was your introduction to the Arabian horse?
My introduction begins in Argentina with Fernando de Santibáñez. In the beginning, we worked with Ignacio Lopez, who was the trainer. And right now we are working with Ryan here with you guys.
And when you first went to Fernando's farm and you saw the Arabians and he brought them out, I mean, what was your thoughts? And
I feel the Arabian have a different expression. It's a different horse for me. And we want to breed Arabians. My father wants Arabians all his life. And now
at your place in Colombia, how many horses do you have?
we have 20 horses right now. We are working in the new generation. We are working about the heads because we have nice bodies, but we need the head right now.
Good. Wonderful. And you, Amanda?
My first experience with the Arabian horses, I was 5 years old and got my first horse, and she happened to be a beautiful boss daughter named Skyfire. And pretty much I fell in love from there on. I've always loved all horses, but Arabs just have had a special place in my heart, especially Skyfire.
Right. And
Yeah.
have you been associated with other breeds as well, or just Arabians?
Yeah, I actually owned a Grand Prix jumper, who's a Celle Francais, French warm blood. And then I've had quarter horses that were reiners and cutters. I didn't ride the cutters, but I had them. And I think that's it. I've had a couple of rescues as well, but those aren't, the grade horses.
Sure.
Yeah.
And what about you?
I, like Amanda, grew up riding all different breeds of horses, namely hunters and ponies, obviously when I was younger. And I always would notice Arabians at different barns that I rode at and out on the trail, and even horses passing by my house down the pavement, and I'd hear the clippity-clop, and I'd run to the window and hope that it would be an Arabian, because I thought they were the most beautiful horses that I'd ever seen as a group. Many of the Arabians that I grew up around were not the quality of the ones that I'm associated with now, and that I see at fellow breeders' farms and friends. But I much like you, they had something special about them, and their character and expression and tail carriage and their structure was just so. I wanted to ride a proud horse like that, and they just had something that other breeds didn't. They didn't stir anything inside of me,
Right.
Yeah.
like an Arabian does. So,
Well, for the last several days, I've been interviewing other breeders who have been in the industry for 20, 30, 40 years, and they all had really amazing stories about the 80s and bringing this horse from Russia and from Poland and all over the world. Do any of you have any special stories about, considering you all really are quite young and new to the industry, but the Arabian horse, of course, gives us, that's the wonderful thing, is memories and stories.
Right, absolutely.
So anything you would like to share?
I have kind of a cool story. So my husband just recently started loving the Arabs, and horses in general. He never was around them, and I always explained to him how, like, when you were younger, he would like the Michael Jordans, and he was so intrigued by these sports figures. Mine was always the horses. Like, they were my rock stars. I had
Sure.
pictures of Padrone in my room and stuff like that when I was little growing up. So recently we took a trip to Greg Galoon's, and we got to see Pinissima for the first time, and he saw it. And for me, it's really it's almost like looking at this beautiful piece of art that's just living, and she evokes emotion almost. She makes me want to cry and laugh, and she's the reason why we do this, to
Right.
get something like her. And it was really cool to experience that with my husband and try to show him why I do what I do and what, you know, why the passion is so strong inside of me. And I think that was the moment that he actually decided that he wanted to start breeding and he wanted to be involved as well.
Sure.
So that's kind of a cool story, and that kind of how he got involved as well.
And I would kind of, now, you know, when people talk about Basque and all the greats, I mean, those are celebrities of the past, and I happen to think that mare is certainly one of the new.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
that you know, 20 and 30 years from now, people will sit here and talk about her and her show wins and all of that.
Yeah.
What about you, Rodrigo?
I think my celebrity was Magnum. My first time I saw Magnum, for me, was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yesterday I saw Justice. I love Justice. I have
Yeah.
a son of Justice. For me, it's amazing right now.
Yeah.
So you just purchased Just Imagine Joy, who was bred in Belgium,
Yeah, right?
and now he's arrived at your farm in Colombia.
Now it's in Colombia. Right now it's in Colombia, and he's going
amazing.
to. Yeah, it's amazing. It's a
Beautiful.
beautiful horse.
Yeah.
And he's going to show in the Nationals in May 26th.
Good.
And good luck for him.
So that's nice that it's kind of come for you in a very short time, full circle. Magnum being a stallion that you saw down
Yeah.
in Argentina, and then now owning a grandson of his,
Yes.
who will be your herd sire.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just feel
That's
it.
always the way to enter into
Yeah.
it. And what about you, Erin?
I would say that, much like both of you, many horses have touched me on an emotional level and you know, evoked dreams and daydreams, and I think about them. But one horse and one visit that particularly comes to mind for me is a visit to Aras Maialua in Brazil, to the Lenita Peroi's farm, of course, where Ali Jamal resides, and Lugine and many other really special horses that she has masterfully bred, and she's created a look for her horses that I really admire. And
Are we okay?
when I saw Ali Jamal in person as a young girl, I know that I cried, and it was, but I couldn't help myself. I was just overcome with how excited I was to be gazing upon a horse who's so structurally sound and beautiful, even at 19 years old, 19 years of age, I believe he was when I saw him. So that
Amazing.
You know, David, it's really funny because Erin will call me and she'll say, I just saw this horse and I cannot get her out of my head. Or text me and say, I've been thinking about your mare all day. It's
Yeah.
like, it's something that you really live and experience
Right.
for like all day, every day. And it's not just a job. It's not just, breeding is a passion, and it's something you have to really enjoy and love to be successful, I think.
I agree with that.
Absolutely.
Well,
Yeah.
and I think for the three of us, because the three of us have become good friends over the last year, as well as you, but we're, of course, in the same city in Scottsdale, so we do text a lot and visit each other's farms. Well, we've never been to yours yet.
Not yet.
But
You have to go to
We
Colombia.
will.
yeah,
it is really funny, though, how the Arabian horse has consumed us in our lives. And it really, for me now, I have to say I eat, drink, and sleep,
Yeah.
you know, the Arabian
Right.
horses. So as young breeders, looking back to the past and now what's going on with other people and their breeding programs, what do the three of you hope to achieve in establishing your breeding programs?
I personally want, if somebody thinks of Royal Arabians or Amanda Fraser in my program, I want them to think of horses that, like Pinissima, make you feel something. They move you. I understand that not every horse that I breed is going to be that. So I also want to make sure that if they don't rise up to that standards, that they can have a job other places. I want them to be, you know, have a great body and great legs, so that way they can be ridden if they can't be the Pinissimas of the world. Or the, you know, like your stallion, who's absolutely incredibly beautiful. He still has all the right pieces that he'll put into his offspring, so that way if you don't have one that's going to be a halter national champion, he'll still produce a performance national champion or something that can go on to do other things. And I think that's what my main goal is, you know, you always aim for perfection in all areas, And then if you fall slightly short of perfection, it's still better than what a lot of other people
Right.
have been doing.
Yeah, I
So,
think every breed are working about the perfection, but the perfection it's impossible.
right.
Right.
Exactly.
Well,
work
and
every
not
day.
just perfection as well. Like for me and for Stonewall Farm, what I am trying to achieve is a look, so that when a horse enters the ring,
Right.
without people looking at their program, they can say, that is a Stonewall Farm horse.
Yeah.
Much like many of the horses from Omar Arab. I
Right.
think that we can definitely sit here at the Las Vegas World Cup show and see a horse come in the ring that has an identifiable look as an Omel horse.
You saw that with your filly that was showed here that you bred as well.
Yeah.
Before I even knew you had anything to do with it, I told Erin, I'm like, that one was from David's, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. She's absolutely amazing. I can't wait
And
to
what's
see
the look for your place?
My farm is called Dolce Cavallo, and
And I didn't want
I
to, because I
feel-
always brutally
slaughter
mess
that
that name up. So thank you.
No, I believe that when I choose matings or the breedings, that I'm looking to produce something that's like what I have all in front of me. If I'm trying to improve upon something in one area of a mare too much, then I need to choose a different stallion for her. Or I probably wouldn't have chosen the mare for my breeding program. There's certain characteristics I look for. Much like David, I really appreciate a pretty horse, one that can hang their head out of a stall and look absolutely beautiful, relaxed, with shavings in their mane or a piece of hay here or there, and still look beautiful without being show clipped and conditioned. But I also appreciate athletic ability, like yourself,
Sure.
and straight legs, and of course I love a very high tail, and it has to come out of the croup very, very high and at a good angle so that they can carry it high. And I look for certain characteristics so the horse looks balanced to me, and then I choose stallions that can maybe add a little something, but not too much, because I think when you're trying to change something, you either get one or the other.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so as far as developing a look, I think that's a long-term plan, and it's much like Omel Arab and Lanitas, for example, Aris Mailua. They've had generations of
Right.
beautiful horses that were structurally sound, and so, that's my dream and goal, is to create horses that will fit into, a look that I develop,
Good.
I guess,
Right.
over
Well,
time.
I thank the three of you for spending some time with me, and we look forward to seeing you in Colombia,
I hope so.
and
We wait for you.
and of course you bringing those great horses back to the USA to compete here.
I hope so.
Yes.
And what your farms and your breeding program have in store for us. Thank
Thank you, David.
Thank you.